The failure to form meaningful partnerships. Welcome back to Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your host, servant, and brother, Jay Is, and today we are going to continue our series on the black male image. And today, in particularly, we're going to talk about the failure to form partnerships. The failure to form partnerships is really a result of the lack of unity that we have, the lack of love that we have, the lack of resources that we have as a group, um, within and towards one another. However, we are going to kind of sit those bigger issues aside for this one and just kind of highlight the failure of partnership. So far in this series, we've talked about things that aren't necessarily true for the masses of our people, but the media does push that out there as if that is how we are functioning on a mainstream level. However, this one is something that we can really see in the media, and we can see this in our everyday lives. And I think it's important that we go ahead and highlight this one. So, the failure to form partnerships. I don't know about you, but you can look around either in your friend group or you can look in other friend groups that you used to be a part of. You know, in many examples, you'll see a group of guys together for 10, 20 years, 5 years, 3 years, and these guys will be with each other every day, and nothing substantial is built between those groups of men, those men that are in that group. Nothing substantial in the way of community, uh, business, education, finance, employment. No base is really discussed and executed in a way where it provides long-term stability for each member in that group and those people who are connected to those members in that group. But when you see other races of individuals, they have a sense of partnership, and you can see this if you go to, let's just say you go to your area's Chinatown, or your area's Little Italy, or your area's Indian community. You'll see a sense of partnership where they have goals. They have group goals that they work towards. I know in my profession, I visit a lot of people, and when I go into certain communities and I speak to certain people of that community, they will always reference the referral from one of their neighbors who just happens to be, um, you know, shares the same ethnicity as them. So you'll see this thing kind of play out in the world. When they have a business, they will patronize vendors that vendors of their same, of their same ethnicity. And this is not to say that they don't like any other races, but this is just to say that they understand the importance of forming meaningful partnerships. When you have a group of guys that have has several talents, some talents of which can really work together in a synchronized way to actually accomplish something greater, and no effort is put forward to accomplish something greater, then there's a problem. There's a disconnect there. But they would take those same talents to another group of people and use and have those people use that talent. if I'm coming across clear. So let's just say, um, let's say you're a musician, right? You're a musician. There's certain people in your friend group who may understand the engineering aspect of it, may understand the marketing aspect of it, may understand how to package you as an artist or manage you as an artist. There may be people in the group who you just have different skills within that industry. But a lot of times, what you'll see is that the musician in that group would often look outside of that group for support, for uh, career enhancement, for trainings, for mentorship. And I see that that's just it's just a it's just one of those things that are really prevalent, amongst us. And you'll have groups of people who are around each other for years, but they have not they have not come together to move move the needle forward, move the needle of progress forward in any way. It's like, that's my friend, and that's how we're going to keep it. But really, when you think about it, that is a childish mindset. So when you're little boys, you'll get together, and when you get with your friends, it's all about, playtime. It's all about fun time. It's all about having a good time. It's not about nothing anything else, because your life at that point isn't about anything else. You're a child, so you're just being children. But it comes a time in life where you're a man, and men should have a serious manner about them and take life serious, because life is serious and you have so many responsibilities. You have a responsibility to yourself. If you have a family, you have a responsibility to your family. You have a responsibility to your community. You have a responsibility to your nation, whether you want to accept that or not. And if you are getting together with your groups of adult male friends, and you're still getting together in a hopefully playful manner, then there's an issue. Not to say that you can't have a good time or there's not a time for play, but when grown men get together, there should be a meeting of minds and a corresponding action plan to move the needle of progress forward. And we have a horrible, horrible track record of doing this. We have trouble seeing the importance of meaningful partnerships. And as I mentioned, one of those ways are truly in business. We don't we do not have business to business partnerships. Number one, we are when it comes to black business owners, we are, at the lower percentile of every industry. But even within that industry, the few of us who may be in that industry, we don't form the proper partnerships to strengthen us in that industry. It almost becomes a every man for himself mentality, and it really hurts us. We would rather do business to business dealings with another group of people. And like I said, it's for a myriad of reasons. And but I don't want to use those reasons to excuse our behavior, because regardless is regardless if it's difficult or not, uh, we should be trying our best and putting our best foot forward to bridge those gaps, and we just don't. Business to business relations, you'll have two brothers in the same industry doing the same thing, and I've seen this a lot. When you look at other nations of people, they'll be in the same industry doing the same thing, and they will actually have events that brings their companies together, and they're having those events to bring those companies together, so the people at the top of those companies can, have conversations about, how each one could benefit one another. They're not in there necessarily fighting over market share. The market is going to decide who gets the market share based on your level of competitiveness anyway. So it's not, you don't have to do anything to undercut the other guy, uh maliciously. And what you see in our circles, that's how it's perceived. Oh, he's selling watches, I'm selling watches, we can't come together because we are in competition. Well, maybe you are in competition, and not even that, maybe you definitely are in competition. But guess what, you in the same league, and when you're in the same league, sometimes it benefits uh to bridge certain gaps between you guys so you guys can remain competitive in the marketplace against other competitors who are out competing the both of you. But we don't see it like that. So the business to business partnerships are very, if they're out there, they're not very evident. And that lack of partnership definitely dominates our social image in across societies across the world. I mean, you could really look at the continent of Africa, and it's a fact that that has the highest concentration of melanated people in the world. And even from, country to country and territory to territory, they don't have a good record of working with each other and building meaningful partnerships. It's just not there. Um, so yeah, so that's that business to business. Also, when we do form meaningful partnerships, when we do see a group or two or more guys getting together to form something, and we like, oh, okay, this is a good look, these people are finally coming out here, and they use this term too. You got to watch out for this term. They're doing it for the community, they're doing it for our community. They're um some kind of twist on those type of words, like they're going to be the ones to take charge and help us raise our awareness of whatever industry that they're working in. And you give it a few months, maybe a year or two, and it all comes out in the wash that it was a scam. And then these partnerships that get promoted, they end up being scams a lot of the times. It's just, it's over and over and over again, where you have these individuals who prey on our ignorance across the board, uh in industries, and it's always a scam that comes out in the wash. Now, I am making this video off the top of my head, so I'm gonna say this, but don't take me to the bank on this. But from what I can think of right now, I do not know any real strong, long lasting partnerships between two or more groups of individuals from our community, the black community, that has moved the needle forward in a meaningful way. I don't. And all the ones that stick out to me, and it could be just what I'm consuming, and I'll take that responsibility. They've all been scams, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stock, whether it's in um, some type of Ponzi scheme type of business setup. It's just always some type of scandal. So when that goes out, when that type of media goes out, it builds on our already ingrained distrust of one another. And then we don't want to, figure out how to do partnerships. We would rather see this person as a downfall to my whatever I'm building, rather than an asset. And it's like, you get around people and they don't understand that they should be an asset. Whether it's your friend group, whether it's your professional group, whether it's your spiritual group, it doesn't matter what group it is. If you're in it, you should be being an asset. And what good is it to be an asset, if or be in proximity to assets, when if you're not going to leverage them? That doesn't make any sense. And then we allow other people to leverage the assets that we bring to the table. One of those things is just one of those things that we really are going to take a look at. as this series moves forward. And I did want to highlight that today, so that we are aware, or makes us more aware of our role as individuals in doing that. And maybe we can look for other individuals who are like-minded, individuals who are more open to doing that, and to actually building that gap, and who have that understanding. And with that understanding, we are going to put up our sponsor script of the day, and that is going to be Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 through 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 through 10. We got to find a way to enhance our ability for partnership. And that's all I have for you today on Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your host, servant and brother, Jay Is, and I'll catch you next time in the book club.